Michael, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. I am good. I am not trying to throw stones because I never want to do graphics or do anything like that. I just want to just shout out putting Brandon Stevens with Lamar Jackson on there. This being the Brandon Stevens revenge game today. That is just top tier work, my friend. Top tier.
I scoured the Ravens roster for former Jets to try to do some like matching on it
Mm-hmm.
rather than just having a quarterback and a cornerback. And I found out Carl Lawson is with the Ravens currently. I don't think he is suited up yet because I couldn't find a
Yeah.
picture of him in uniform, but I think he is on there somewhere.
Oh my God. Yeah. I feel like the Jets and Ravens have traded like the most random players over the years. Like Patrick, was it Anuwasu? God, what was that linebacker's name? Who was like, they like signed like day one or whatever in free agency that he was going to start. Oh my God. They've had so many like weird crossovers. Oh, I mean, Chuck Clark. Is Chuck Clark
Chuck
back on the
Clark.
Ravens?
I don't think Chuck Clark's in football anymore.
Okay. Okay.
My least favorite former Raven of all time, and there were a bunch, and mainly because of like the Rex years, right? There were a bunch
Mm-hmm.
for that
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
But
Bart, Jim. Yeah.
Derek Mason was just like, and I've said it before, right? Like
Yeah.
letting go of Jericho Cotchery and bringing in Derek Mason was kind of like the beginning of the end, I think.
Yeah. Also, I feel like so many Derek Masons because there's the Derek Mason who used to coach Vanderbilt. There's that Derek Mason. I think there's like a third Derek Mason. There's just so many. Here we go. Chuck Clark is on the Steelers. Fantastic. So we already lost that
Oh,
revenge. So Jets are 0-1 in big revenge games of former defensive backs. So that's super fun. I think this week is so interesting to me because I feel like there's a section of the fan base that I don't think thinks the Jets are good, but thinks like that the Jets aren't capable of being blown out because I think the last time they were blown out was is it Dallas? Has it been like 6 weeks?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
because the
even
Patriots game
score
wasn't a
wise.
blowout. Like even after the Fields fumble, like I think Patriots fans would be like that was a back and forth game. They got a touchdown late. Like I don't think the Patriots ever thought they were losing that game, but like that was not a blowout.
Yeah, and there's like blowout by numbers and blowout by feel. The
Yeah.
Cowboys game was a
Oh
blowout.
yeah, that was an absolute stinker. That was like, is this the coaching staff that should be here next year? Like all of that, all of that.
I mean, honestly, in the big picture, it was really just that in the Bills game were the two like
Hmm.
blowouts, and they happened to be kind of clustered together, which made it
Yeah,
for a rough couple of weeks. But
yeah, because like Tampa was trending towards that way, but then Tampa got conservative, and they somehow I still have no idea how that game was ever like tied because it never felt like the defense could do anything with Tampa offense.
yeah, yeah, there were a bunch of games that felt like blowouts, and then somehow the Jets made it into something towards the end. Tampa was one. I mean,
Yeah, I mean
Cincy, they
Cincinnati
ended
was
up winning.
trending.
Yeah,
Yeah, Cincinnati was trending towards that. They were down two scores multiple times that game. Like that was a game where it's just like, all right, like this team is just going to get pieced up by Flacco, and then Fields is going to have like one bad play. Cincinnati will get their stop. They'll go up by 3 scores, and then the Jets like the game will be over. But that just never happened, and Cincinnati ended up filling their diaper, so which was fun.
even the Dolphins game was like kind of felt like a blowout for a
Oh
little
yeah,
while.
that game was so demoralizing. Like that game was Braylon Allen fumbled and like what was it, the 3 yard line? It was like this game's over.
Yeah, for sure. How are you feeling about today? So it felt like you were going somewhere with that, where there haven't been a ton of blowouts, right?
Yeah, I think they're going to get blown out today. That's more where I was going with there. I think the Ravens are so weird this year because the Ravens always have Super Bowl aspirations. Last year they didn't. They had a weird September, but then they really turned it on. They took the division from Pittsburgh. They beat Pittsburgh, and then the Ravens played in the divisional round. It was a back and forth game. Mark Andrews obviously dropped the 2 point when he was wide open, and the Bills won. And that was that. Like I don't think like those were two very good teams, and they played in the playoffs. And when two very good teams play in the playoffs, there's only one winner. This year they've just never looked like the Ravens outside of the first half against Buffalo, like where Derrick Henry like really got downhill. They got that big lead, and then ever since they blew that lead, it's just never been the same. Lamar's been in and out. Lamar missed practice this week for an ankle injury. He missed time with a hamstring injury this year. He had a knee injury. He missed practice for last week. It just, and there, as someone who's a Lamar Jackson's fantasy owner, they just don't score in the red zone like ever. It feels like they just kick so many field goals, and I just want to know if like has the Jets defense gotten to play some quarterbacks? Is there like a regression that's coming both ways, which is not good for the Jets? That the Ravens are too talented to keep going like 1 of 4 first getting into the end zone, and these weeks like they did against the Vikings and how they had like that weird game against Cleveland. And is the Jets defense just like due to just die on the road?
I mean, I would say so, right? I am also a Lamar Jackson fantasy owner in one of my leagues, and I'm not doing well. I have the best team in the league, and I'm like 2-10. Because and it's mostly because like Lamar, right? Like
yeah, I took Dak in like the 10th round, so he's been able to guide me through the Rocky Lamar season. I think I'm 7-4 in the league. I have Lamar. I think I'm in second place, which is nice, but because I hit all of the correct receivers. But yeah, if you don't have the backup quarterback, he's just not playing how Lamar should be playing.
Right, exactly. And so I want to kick a question back to you, but before we get there, I think like, yeah, this is like the most fertile ground you could possibly ask for if you're the Ravens and you want to get well game where you start to look like yourself again. And, you know, this is it, right? Like you have a linebacking core who hasn't been playing well. Quincy Williams is fast, right? So there's that. But, you know, I think, yeah, we're due for a major regression on both sides. Now, that being said, I've been saying that about Lamar for like 5 weeks. Like, all right, maybe this is the week that he starts to look good again, right? And so my question to you is kind of more Raven specific than it is Jet specific. Do you think this is all about Lamar's legs this year? And is that why they look like this, or is there a deeper problem there?
I don't know. I mean, Derrick Henry's short. The weirdest thing about Derrick Henry, which I will never, ever, ever understand, is that he's so big and so physical, but as a short yardage runner, he's never been great. Like that's not a new thing. That was a problem in Tennessee where he just seems like he's impossible to tackle. But if it's 3rd and 1, if it's 4th and 1, is he the back who consistently moves the chains? Not always. And the Raiders receivers have always just been weird. Like, Andrews is loaded. They're like franchise leading receiver. Like I like Zay Flowers. I really love him as a prospect, but there are days where he's great and there are days where he just disappears. Rashad Bateman's been injured. DeAndre Hopkins is, has the old man at the Y, game at this point as a receiver. Like, I don't know. Like they have a bunch of pieces. I don't think their offensive line is terrible. It just feels weird. And it feels like they fixed the defense. Like, I don't think the defense is like the sieve that it was when Buffalo put up 40 on them. Detroit early in the year absolutely clowned them. The Chiefs really put it on them. Like, yes, if I was Griffin in the chat, I already used the Ravens in my survivor pool. But yes, the Ravens are going to be a popular survivor pool pick today.
Yeah.
And that's where this goes back to my overarching theory about the Jets defense. And what have I been saying for weeks? Everyone knows this. If your quarterback can wipe his ass, he's going to put up 30 points, 25 plus points on the Jets defense. And Lamar Jackson, even when he's playing like this, and even if Lamar Jackson doesn't have the same mobility that we're used to him having, even Lamar just solely from the pocket, I think is good enough to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he is. It's a weakened Lamar Jackson is better than most quarterbacks that they've faced this year. They have not really had a murderer's row. And so all logical signs would point to this is a blowout. We kind of identified this one even when I was like feeling super positive early in the season. We both identified this one as like, yeah, they're going to get murdered by Baltimore in Baltimore.
They also never play well in Baltimore, if memory serves. Like the Darnold game, I think it was like a Thursday, and Lamar's first MVP season was no picnic. They have a couple of just like sounding like the Ravens are normally good. It's only going on the road and beating a good team when you're the Jets is not easy. And that's, just doing the math there. But it feels like the Ravens especially. And I think someone said this, maybe it was like last week or something, that I remember the Eagles stat before they beat them in 23 was like the Jets never beat the Eagles. I think there was a time they hadn't beaten the Ravens either for like a long time.
Correct. Yeah. So they have never beaten the Ravens on the road still to this day. We are 0-6 in Baltimore since 2000, which I guess is the first time we played the Ravens in Baltimore, if you're taking out the Colts. All time, we are 2-10 against the Ravens. So the 2 wins have come at home, 0-6 all time in Baltimore. There's a game that I should have looked up when I was prepping for this show that I can't remember the exact details of, but I think there was a punt return for a touchdown in Baltimore. And I'm going way back. Like you were probably 5 years old when this happened, so I'm not asking you to remember it. but it was a long time ago. And man, next time you're talking for a little while, I'm going to look it up and try to find it. Maybe somebody in the chat can remember that game.
Yeah, because they're actually, funny enough, their first win against Baltimore was literally in 1997, and then they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row against them, and then finally beat them in 2016 at home. But yeah, they said they got clowned in 19. They lost remember when Zach got hurt in preseason, and that was the opener in 22, and that game wasn't competitive at all.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't not play this team well, and I'm not shocked. The Ravens are good, and the Jets normally haven't been.
Yeah, for sure. But there's always that chance with the Jets that, like, do you get the weird game, right?
Yeah.
And here it is. I found it actually. So December 24th, Christmas Eve of 2000, in Baltimore, we're down 7 points with 10 minutes left in the game. And we punt, and Jermaine Lewis, there's a name for you, an NFL
obviously
name.
89 yards. That's a long punt return.
Jermaine Lewis brings it back 89. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I had some family that was at that game.
That's a long punt return. All right, do you think we gotta go to our first caller?
Let's
Nick,
bring in Nick.
How's it going, man?
What's up? Just hoping to see some competitive ball today. Not expecting a whole lot. Maybe if AD could. AD's got to get that first catch out of the way and then just like roll from there.
Yeah.
I will say my cousin lives in Baltimore and was at Ruth's Chris, and she's like doesn't know a whole lot about football, but she was saying like, oh, there's a bunch of Jets here, and it was Jermaine Johnson, Briggs, Mechie, and AZ Thomas, and apparently they were doing shots pretty late into the night.
Okay. Look at this.
We're like breaking news.
Breaking news out here. This is why you turn into the pregame show. You get little tidbits like this.
Yeah, so maybe Glenn doesn't have quite control.
This was last night, you said?
Yeah, she was out for her anniversary.
Okay. Well, like I said, I can't.
So like, be aware if like JJ is not like quite as elite off the edge. He's weighed down by some tequila.
Yeah, he's on 30 snaps instead of 52 today. If he's on a snap, okay.
Yeah, which I get it. Like we're not playing for a lot, but like, it's already gonna be a little ugly. Like maybe bring the A game.
Yeah, and it's not the same thing, but it's just the thing would happen again. This is not like a joke when I say this. Like the thing that happened with Boyd, like it's those things starting to add up as like extracurricular things, like out and about just making headlines. It's a fair point, Keith. You know, maybe at the end, maybe it's like beer pong. Like you suck when you're sober, and you just need to be a little buzzed. Like maybe that's how the Jets have to play.
Yeah. Maybe it's a team building moment. This is the day they came together.
Yeah. I mean, I found it. Like the rest of those guys, I was kind of like, all right, like on par. Like I was kind of shocked when she was like, Jermaine Johnson's here, because like seems to be a little bit more professional than those other couple of guys. But who knows?
Yeah, because Thomas. I mean, Mechie just got here. Thomas and Briggs are still young players. Like Briggs is only in his second year. Even like I don't know who he was traded for. Like he was only drafted in 24. AZ is obviously a rookie. And then said Mechie's new to the team. Like who knows if they're even going to like tender him as an RFA? Like he could just be playing it out and then going somewhere else. You have no idea.
Yeah. But like I said, hopefully we see a little bit of action. But our boy Will Parkinson has got me on the USC bandwagon.
Okay. God.
Get me that receiver at 5.
Ty Lemon.
And then the quarterback at the Colts.
So let me tee Meegs up for a point here because I know how Meegs feels. I think Meegs really loves the player, Ty
Lemon's a great player.
But what do you think about the fit on the Jets currently, Meegs?
My issue with him, and I'll tell you, I'll get your point, is that he's great in the slot. I don't want to have like a slot guy with Garrett. I want Garrett to predominantly play there.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that's more it's not really like a Lemon thing. Like Lemon's gonna be like, it should be like a top 15 pick. Like there aren't 15 players better than him in this draft. Him, Tate, and Tyson are like for a receiver class that probably hasn't gotten that enough buzz. That's a really nice top 3. They're all like very first round talents. I just don't know if you want to basically treat like how the Cowboys treat Lamb. with Garrett and try to find him Pickens, I think it does more for him than getting like Lemon and then having Garrett basically be the Z, because I don't know if Lemon is going. I think Lemon should just be what Seattle does with JSN, just copy paste with Mekhi Lemon.
Right. So would you think Glenn and Muji would risk bringing that sociopath Pickens in if like the Cowboys are stupid enough to let him walk?
I mean, he seems like if Schottenheimer can get him on his best behavior, I think you have to have the faith that that Glenn can do it. I mean, Schottenheimer benched him for that first drive against the Raiders, and they seemed to respond to it well. Maybe Pickens has just grown up. I have no idea.
Yeah, and then I want, like, after seeing what Houston did to Buffalo, like it's all pass rush.
Yeah.
Like if they can sign Pickens and then use the 5th pick for Reese.
Yeah.
And then just like, it doesn't matter if you have the top tier corners. If you're the other team's quarterback, like Sal used to say, if the other team's quarterback's running for his life, like they can't run an offense.
Yeah. I mean, it would take major nuts to have a quarterback on the board and to pick Arvell Reese.
Oh yeah.
And I think you better be right about it, but I think people like Arvell Reese, arguably best player in the draft.
And he's like the same exact metrics as the kid from Houston there. Will
Anderson?
Yeah. Which I didn't realize, which is
Will Anderson's not the biggest edge, but you never know when you watch that guy play.
Right. And I was listening to a bunch of like Caleb Downs and that Sonny Styles were talking about Arvell Reese, and they were like, his strength is like unhinged. This is the word they used, and it's like you see clips of him just like one arm holding off, like big time offensive lineman. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Caleb Downs, another player in the draft that is awesome.
Do we go other safety top 10? I mean,
once again, you have to have huge balls to make it.
He's worth it. He's probably a safety prospect, and I think people's like everyone in Alabama said, and Saban said it, that he's like the best Alabama DB they ever had. And he was there as a true freshman, and he led a Saban defense in tackles. Like this is one of those guys who's just should have been in the NFL for 2 years, but because of the rules, he wasn't allowed to be.
Right. Well, I think we're all rooting for Jacksonville to clip the Colts here. And make that pick like a high teens. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I really need the Chiefs to remember they're the Chiefs today and start knocking away at that Colts record.
Yes. But I will say, is there anything more delicious than a Buffalo Bills implosion for us?
Especially for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the Josh Allen. And listen, I always have to clarify this. When I say Josh Allen sucks, I mean I'm trying to bring the conversation back to center.
Yes.
Because the praise and adoration that he gets, I think, is outsized. And so, like, when I say Sam Darnold is good and Josh Allen sucks, what I mean is that people are underrating Sam Darnold, people are overrating Josh Allen. I'm just trying to bring things back to the center. I know Josh Allen is better than Sam Darnold. That's not the point. The point is I want to bring the conversation back.
This isn't – you should see the group chat. He's not this diplomatic.
I'm not this diplomatic in the group chat.
If Adam Gase didn't exist, Sam Darnold's better than Josh Allen.
Yeah. I mean, you could – I remember – actually, if you remember how Bean talked about Darnold when the Jets traded up, how if Buffalo had their choice, they would have picked Darnold over Allen.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you should hear Bean talk about it. I remember him giving an interview about when he heard about when the Jets made the trade up with the Colts, how unhappy he was about it because they did it so early. Like that was like such like a – I know the Niners did it with Lance eventually, but that became like the the thing with them.
Right.
Was that it was like it would completely came out of nowhere. Like they basically did it at the combine, which was like unheard of at the time.
Right. And like just one last thing, I got to run. I got to take care of my kid. Fernando Mendoza is the correct amount of football autistic that I like.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's that clip of him that was floating around with where he's breaking down the play and Urban Meyer's jaw hits the floor. It's hard not to like it. If you're coming from where we've been coming from, with the quarterbacks that we've had come through here, it's hard not to feel attracted to that clip. I get it. He still scares the hell out of me, but
for sure,
I get it.
But I could listen. I can glom onto that for the next 6 months if they do take him. So
yeah, it's definitely the way you sell them on it. It's more like, is this just perfect for Minnesota and not New York? Which unfortunately is something you have to worry about.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go Jets. Hopefully,
thanks, Nick.
Just don't
Thanks, Nick. Always appreciate the call.
See you.
So I'll add a little bit more color to that 2000 game against the Ravens. My brother was there. He's texting me, hearing me talking about it. And so That knocked the Jets out of the playoffs, and Jermaine Lewis actually had 2 punt return touchdowns that game, and the difference was 14 points, and it knocked the Jets out.
That's just so on
So
brand
that's-
for that is just so on brand for them. Like I was 3 years old at the time. I might have watched this game. I don't remember watching this game. Like I can't tell you I was locked in. Because who is the coach? Is this Al Groh? Who is the coach?
Yeah, it would have been Al Groh in 2000.
That would have been
So
my,
it would have
yeah,
been
'cause-
it would have been a 9-7 season.
Yeah, that's why I knew they were close to the playoffs. I knew Al Groh 9-7 for 1 year. Then did he take the Virginia job?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I know my Jets history. I want to know. Yeah, does Al Groh have, like, of the 21st century, does he have the highest winning percentage? Or is it because Rex got so bad at the end?
He is the only Jets coach since Parcells, I believe, that is over 500 for the Jets.
Yeah, because I don't think Herm was, because it was like one like spotty Herm season before he went to the Chiefs, and then I think Rex just stayed too long, unfortunately.
Yep.
Also, neither of his playoff seasons were like 12-win seasons. Like I think it was like 9-7 and 11-5, if memory serves.
Yep.
They were both wild cards. Obviously, they weren't division titles. Yeah. Shout out, Groh.
Yes.
I love this energy. I love this energy. I was actually talking about this with I was at one of my friend's house last night, and he asked me about Brady Cook, and I had to explain to him that going forward for the next 15 years, anytime there's a quarterback 3 who we don't have to watch play, who's like white, kind of tall, played at like a semi-big program, we're just be like, dude, what if he's Mike? And I literally tell him, I was like, dude, Brady Cook is not good. You don't want to see him play.
I think you said
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but no.
You said in the group chat last week, like the damage Mike White did to this fan base will be felt for generations or something.
Exactly. Like literally, like when your son has his own podcast on this network when he's like 14, he's gonna have callers asking him about Mike White. It's gonna be going on for like a decade.
The Great White Hope, dude.
Yeah.
I have to admit, hand up, guilty. Like I was not like he is gonna be the next big thing. I was like, he is the best option on this team right now.
Yeah.
100%. I was behind it.
There was the conglomerate, which I was a part of, that he is 110% better than Zach Wilson. He can run LaFleur's offense. My biggest issue with him is how often he got banged up, because he was still kind of skinny for his size, and he couldn't move that much to begin with. So it was like putting on more weight wasn't the thing. But there was like a small section of the fan base was like, what if he's Tony Romo? And I was like, guys, I know Tony Romo is undrafted. And I know it makes no sense that the Dallas Cowboys have found a franchise quarterback who wasn't drafted and a franchise quarterback who was drafted in the 4th round back to back. It still has done nothing with it, but it's going to take a lot for the Jets to find a franchise quarterback from a waiver claim, because he was drafted by the Cowboys. I think they claimed him off waivers like after year 2 or year 3.
Yeah, exactly. He had been in the league for a little while. That was.
I think he was in Darnold's draft, if memory serves. I think he was in 2018 draft. Yeah,
like Western Kentucky or something.
Yeah, it's some like G5 school. Western Kentucky sounds right.
Yeah,
I knew it wasn't the MAC, because I know it's not Eastern Michigan. I think Western Kentucky is correct.
But I think at this point, like with Brady Cook, right? I know that you're not. I know he's not good, right? That's not the argument at this point. The argument is, how long can we continue to watch Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor operate this offense? And I think really it's less about Tyrod Taylor operating the offense and more about he's going to get hurt soon. Yeah. It might be today.
Like I said, maybe it's like I was very curious to see, and I'm sure we'll get the inactive list or whatever come out, if Fields was going to be QB2, because like it's funny enough, we're talking about Mike White. It reeks of him getting hurt in Buffalo and Zach having to come back and play the Detroit game.
Yes, exactly.
Like from 2022, like that. Like I just don't, and I'm not rooting for Tyrod to get injured or anything like that. Believe me, like no one wants to see that.
It's just data.
He's old, like he's brittle, like like it's gonna happen. Like he would have been the starter 3 weeks ago if he didn't hurt his knee. And how many is Tyrod taking 100 snaps this season?
No. I mean, you figure he took about 70 in the Tampa game, and then a few in relief duty in the Carolina game. So,
yeah, and then what, the 2 quarters of Buffalo? Like I don't like I said, I think 70 is high for the Tampa game. I don't think the offense was on the field that much. So I would say probably 50 for that, maybe, and then 25 and like 20 against Carolina. So like probably around 80, 85 would be my guess. But yeah, like he's old. Like it's not like I love Tyrod Taylor as a player. Like that guy was a great college quarterback at Virginia Tech. What he did, even with the Bills, was just nice to see him have this moment, as he always had those good spot starts for the Ravens. Like I was happy he's had the career he's had, but like if you were gonna give me like what would I set the odds of Tyrod playing every single game the rest of the season, I'd have to go 4-1 at the lowest. Like, and I'm sure people would hammer that. Like, or sorry, not 4-1, like -400. Like for him to like actually could like not get injured, it has to be +400, right?
And in that situation, yes, definitely, I agree with you. And in that situation, like let's say he gets hurt, Fields is the backup, so we see Fields for the rest of the game. The next week, Tyrod's out.
Yeah.
Can you watch another Field start at this point?
Can the players around you watch another Field start is the better question. Like as much as we're fans at the end of the day, we're going to watch this stupid team. If they put Woody's kid at quarterback, like, you know, like at the end of the day, like that's what we've made. We're in this for the long haul. We've made that decision, but there's a reason he wanted to do this when he did. There's a reason he had to do it now. Like you have to evaluate the players on your roster. And I don't know if like Cook could go full Luke Falk, and I wouldn't be surprised because I watched him play at Missouri. But like maybe you have to have the what's his face? Oh god, maybe you have to have the Tim Boyle game where it's like, all right, this is the other option. Like you need to appreciate Fields is all we have, and maybe you have to do that for a game instead of just going right back into it.
Funny story about the Boyle game. So I was in Seattle visiting my in-laws for that game, and I thought, you know, I thought it was going to be on TV, right? They weren't playing at the same time as the Seahawks. I was like, I'll be able to watch it out there. I'll figure it out. Yada, yada, yada. I couldn't. So I end up having to watch the Jets game on my iPad. I had to pay for NFL Sunday Ticket just to watch Tim Boyle play against the Buffalo Bills. And I sat there on my iPad like a loser in Seattle where the rest of the family watched NFL football, and I watched Tim Boyle against the Bills.
Yeah.
So
actually, I can't tell you how many conversations me and Paul have throughout the week about anything. We have never talked about Tim Boyle. Like, how shocked are you as a UConn grad that he's in the NFL?
He was part of the dark ages at UConn. Like,
dude, his touchdown interception ratio, I think he had more interceptions. I have no idea how he was in the NFL.
He was a bad college quarterback, and he's a bad NFL quarterback, and there must be something underneath in his personality or his work ethic that and also let's not discount that he attached himself to Aaron Rodgers. That was part of it. That's part of why he got to stay in the NFL for a little while. But yeah, man, my favorite memory of the Tim Boyle era was Brandon Tierney going on the Fan and saying that he talked to somebody in the Jets organization who told him, and I quote, Timmy Boyle can spin it. And they said that they really liked what they saw at practice.
Was that Tim? Do you think the person inside the organization was Timmy Boyle?
It must have been, right?
Actually, honestly, I don't think we can put up graphics on this thing. Do you remember the Connor Hughes tweet about Tim, like 5 things I know about Tim Boyle?
Yes. We can put up graphics. I'll go get it.
Okay, I was gonna say if you can find that is genuinely, it's not even like at the end of the day he was the Jets quarterback. The beat's got to do what the beat's got to do to hype it up. That is one of the funniest graphics of all time.
Talk a little bit. I'm gonna look for it right now.
I was gonna say, I was actually
let me give you a prompt to talk on. So I was I'm thinking about Tyrod Taylor and Virginia Tech, and I remember how fucking good he was at Virginia Tech, and I'm trying to remember. I know he didn't immediately follow Mike Vick, but I remember him being kind of like, they were talking about him like in Vick's shadow at the time. Who was in between Vick and Tyrod Taylor? Was Marcus Vick there for a little while?
Yes, Marcus Vick was there. Marcus Vick, not the best human. Yes, he was there. He was a good player. And there's also a white quarterback. There was also I found the graphic. I'm going to text it to you. There also is I think there's also a white quarterback that Beamer had that like I don't know if they won the ACC, I'm trying to remember who their quarterback was when they beat BC in the ACC title game to go to the Orange Bowl when Matt Ryan was BC's quarterback, and I remember they had a white quarterback who was not half bad if I remember correctly.
I have Mike Glennon in my head, but I know Mike Glennon's not old enough, and I know Mike Glennon went to NC State.
State, yeah. I'm trying to think of which quarterback I'm thinking of. All right, 2007 ACC title game. Let me see if I can figure. This is what you get. This is what when the Jets are 14.5-point underdogs. This is what you get on the pregame show. This is what you get on the pregame show. Oh, it's Sean Glennon.
Glennon. Okay.
I knew it was a white quarterback that Matt Ryan lost to. I knew it wasn't Vic or his brother. Look at us.
We were close. I think we get points for Mike Glennon.
Yeah. We definitely get points for white quarterback Sean Glennon. Like we 100%. That's 100% of full credit.
Do you have any bets you like today? I know we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here.
I feel like this is an Andrews touchdown game. If we're going Ravens in this regard, and I feel like we have to. Do you remember how I used to tell you about when the Jets drafted Arian Smith? One of my favorite college football guys would always bet Arian Smith over longest reception, whatever book he could find it, because they would always scheme it up. They would throw it to him, and it's like a 50-50 chance, basically like doing angel dust to see if he would catch it or not. We should start doing that with A.D. Mitchell, like just betting over 20-yard catch until he actually catches one, because he's gonna get open, and Tyrod will throw it.
100%.
Like Fields might not throw it. Tyrod will throw it.
Tyrod will throw it, as he proved in the Carolina game. He came in and threw 3 deep balls right out of the gate.
Exactly, and like shout out J.C. Horn for making a one-handed pick and another sick play. But at the end of the day, you don't play J.C. Horn every week. A cornerback isn't always going to make that play. Like that shouldn't. It's not going to deter him, nor should it. Electric fast delivery has a. This was 100% written by Timmy Boyle. Like, I am sorry. This isn't even a shot at Connor Hughes, which we sometimes take from time to time. That is just.
Which is your favorite one? I think Beloved
Electric fast delivery is 100% my favorite. Electric fast.
I love Beloved by his teammates. I think that's hysterical.
But the fact that it's 4th, I don't know how beloved is he? Also, he had been on the team for like barely a year. Like, how beloved could he have been?
These were dark times, man. These were really dark times.
Dude, the 2023, dude, that is probably the most trying. Like, if we were doing the pregame show / the podcast during 2023, like, dude, we would have started throwing shit at the wall. Like, I think we literally would have started reviewing Grateful Dead like live albums at that point.
All right, I have another graphic to throw up here for us. You ready?
Okay. Yep. Give it to me.
Jets inactives. We got Tyler Johnson out, which I think is a little bit of a surprise. Khalil Herbert, no surprise. Jelani Woods, I will officially stop being surprised.
Okay.
Tyler Barron, no surprise. And
the worst day 3 trade up of all time is just getting better. Good to see. Good to see. All right.
Bink Saunders is active, though.
Okay. A.D. Mitchell, 30-plus yard reception is plus 290. I feel like we got to start taking that, dude.
I'm in on it. I will ride it as a system bet with you as long as you ride with me on my system bet, which is betting on an interception every week and doubling the unit until it happens.
Lamar Jackson, who I think has one of the lowest interception percentage of any quarterback in the league, throwing his first interception makes me love that bet today, by the way.
It's plus 182.
Yeah, like also we're also doing the JetHeads parlay, which is what's plus 2. We have to put these together. Just for the fact of it.
I actually really like a Lamar fumble today too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I don't know if we can find that. But I'll look for it.
Let me see if I can find the interception in that regard. I'll see what this parlay, because I'm on it right now. What is this will be the funniest JetHeads parlay if we actually hit that. All right, where's the interception bet? God, this is some great podcasting. Truly no one does it better than this show.
High level stuff here.
High level. Alternate spread. Where the heck is this thing? All right.
It should be under passing props.
Yeah, I think I got it. Oh my God. Here we go. Lamar Jackson interception. Oh, they don't let me put these together. Oh, that's devastating. They let me put it together, so we have to bet them separately.
That is really annoying.
Yeah. Screw you, FanDuel.
That's because they know.
They know.
Vegas knows, dude.
We are definitely up on the season. So they are definitely trying to get like the Rucker touchdown and the Fields rushing touchdown for preseason game week 1. We were playing with house money this entire year. We've actually had a nice betting season. I wish someone would go back and track like what we've actually put out there. I think we are definitely in the black.
Yeah, we should have been writing it down. I was at one point, and then the Jets killed my soul, as they always do. So
as
I stopped writing it down.
The Cowboys game is probably also the case and look back for when that happened.
I actually died at MetLife Stadium during the Cowboys game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot you were there with a client who was a Cowboys fan. So yeah, the fact that you still live to tell and are still gainfully employed is a massive kudos to you. All right, so I think those are the two bets we like the most. I said I'm just system playing. We're just betting AD Mitchell to catch a 30-yard pass. Like Tyrod's going to throw it, he's going to get open. Can he just make? Because that's the thing with him. It's like if you can get those mental lapses out of it, because it's not even like he's like kind of what the Bills are going through with Keon Coleman, where like there's a mental thing, but there's also like a work ethic thing, or there's a thing where like he just like there are routes he just gives up on, or he dogs, or any of that. Like AD Mitchell can run routes. AD Mitchell can get open. It's just it's basically the Jonah Hill Moneyball meme where it's like, Billy, this is AD Mitchell. He can run 4.3. He can run any route tree in the book. The only problem with him is he can't catch.
Yeah.
That's literally what AD Mitchell is.
Maybe I'm a sucker, but I was really encouraged hearing AD Mitchell talk after the game last week. I was like, all right, like I don't know what I expected. But like with the rap he had coming in of like focus issues and different things like that, I didn't expect him to stand at his locker and be like, yeah, dude, I dropped the ball 3 times today. Like, that's on me. That's my bad. I was like, whoa, like, all right, he's aware of a problem. Like, so I don't know, maybe I'm a sucker, but and then the way Tanner Engstrand talked about him this week, I felt really encouraged by
the way Garrett talked about him meant a lot to me too.
I am a sucker. So let me actually make 100%.
That clear. Yeah, please. We should put sucker on both our foreheads. Like, yeah.
All right, I got a couple things for us to talk about here. So one thing my brother texted me, I'll read aloud here. They haven't won in Baltimore since 1983 against the
Yes,
Colts.
I saw that in the chat too.
So if we go back, it spans franchises. The other thing, and the caller brought this up earlier, the 3 receivers, Tyson, Tate, and
Mekhi Lemon.
Right. In a vacuum, forget Garrett Wilson exists. Just in a vacuum, how do you rank the 3 receivers and then rank them again for their fit with the Jets?
Tyson, Carnell, Mekhi. Carnell, Tyson, Mekhi.
Okay. So you
Jordan
think Tyson's
Tyson
better, but you like Carnell Tate better for the Jets.
Jordan Tyson is literally, and Connor said this too, like it's gonna be the only thing with Tyson, he's got a bunch of soft tissue injuries that his medicals when the combine comes are going to be very important because that guy just seems to have more hamstring injuries than you want, especially for receivers. But like if you ask for a stylistic comparison for Jordan Tyson, you'd probably say Garrett Wilson. And while I do not want a smaller receiver next to Garrett necessarily, having 2 Garrett Wilsons is a good thing if you wanted to put them together. Carnell is just tall. He has Calvin. He plays a lot like Calvin Ridley did, like Calvin Ridley did. Super long, perfect as a Z, can win deep down the field. Like will do so much running those deep clear out routes for Garrett to completely work the middle. Like those 2 stylistically make all the sense in the world together. It's not because they both played at Ohio State. It's not because they didn't take JSN and robbed me of having both of them on the Jets. It's just Carnell Tate in this class. If you're looking at if you're not taking a quarterback and you're using your first pick on a receiver, and these are the 3 you're going to pick from because all 3 of these guys should be well off the board, regardless if the Colts season goes in the tank. I think the best case scenario for the Colts pick is get like the 3 seed, and they're one like the AFC East winners ahead of them, the AFC West winners ahead of them, and the AFC North winner probably isn't because it's probably not Pittsburgh isn't going to win it probably, and Baltimore has already lost too many games to get probably ahead of the Colts, and then they lose in the first round and they're picking like 22. That's probably the best case scenario for Colts. Be like all 3 of these players. They have no unless there's like a medical red flag, or one of them gets like literally arrested before the draft, they're not going to be there.
Well, that's why you take Skylar Bell later, and then you get the triple crown.
Skylar Bell according to Max, Skylar Bell got a concussion, hurt his knee, and hurt his ankle, and in the same play.
All in the same play.
So
all right. I'm going to put up a comment so that we have something to chew on. I'm also going to add PSU Joe in. How you doing, PSU Joe? So this comment says, I think the Jets make a move and trade for Olave from the Saints. And I want to talk about this because I love that player. But at this point in his career and in his life, I'm not touching that player with a 10-foot pole. And I want to know what you guys think about it.
Too many concussions. And I want to see him, like, Chris Olave should go to like a contender. He's played, like, going from the Saints to the Jets is like going from the outhouse to the outhouse. Like, he's also a guy who needs to be paid. Like, he's just completed his 4th season. He'll be playing on his 5th-year option. He was obviously the same draft as Garrett, as they were teammates at Ohio State. You guys make a decision about paying him. And
you would think there's people in his life advising him to walk away from football, right?
I mean, Denzel Ward's still out there, and he has more concussions than Olave does. So at the end of the day, like, these are players who still play. I mean, I don't even need to have the Tua conversation. Like, yeah, these people are just wired differently. So,
how you doing, Joe?
How's it going, Joe?
Yeah, so I was a little late. Caught a ride back from Vegas, and I was running to get back here just to get on the show. So,
oh my gosh!
Yeah, but I'm
the red eye home from Vegas on a Saturday night might actually be hell on earth. Are you okay?
The crazy thing is, because the F4 or whatever that race thing is going on, the airport was completely empty. But
is that what you were out there to see?
No, I had some work stuff out there, and ended up taking a red eye. I was going to originally come back this morning, and then I was like, yeah, I'll be cutting it too close to the game, so just changed flights and got back. But it's funny because I live down in Maryland also, and my sister told me that there was Jets players out last night in Baltimore.
Oh no! Now we have a corroborated story.
We got multiple sources.
I think this actually meets journalistic integrity that we now have a corroborated source.
We properly vetted this. So like I said, Nick's sister, we didn't properly vet. We have multiple callers have the same story. So
yeah, I don't know you didn't know which ones they were, but you just said, oh yeah, we were out and we heard that there was Jets players at a restaurant by us, and she didn't know which one, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And I'm like immediately thinking like, okay, do I bet against the Jets today? Which I just don't do just because I don't know, I feel dirty doing that. But
you're a man after my own heart. I can't do it either.
It feels like something I should do, but
it depends on the season. I'll be like, there are some times where I'll just say, I'm about to put like the 2020 season was you were just being financially unresponsible if you were not betting against the Jets. Like there are some seasons when you just know they don't have it.
Yeah, no.
And this is like for year one of a new regime, you hope there was like a turnaround. There was hope there was some sparks. There was hopes there were some things that you weren't actively rooting against and never got to like full Gase year 2 levels. But there's a time and a place for it, and then and you'll know.
I'm such a sucker that I'll bench fantasy players against the Jets.
Oh my god!
Oh, sorry, I don't do that.
And now I understand why you're 2-10.
Yeah.
In one league, I'm in first in my other league.
I feel the same way as you guys that we're going to get steamrolled today, but I would tell you that's not what like the talk radio down here is talking about. Like they don't feel good about this.
It's a weird team.
They are worried that they're like, oh, we're going to be get upset by this team, like it's a trap game. So I'll be interested to see what happens. And I don't know if nationally people are talking about Harbaugh being on the hot seat, but they're definitely talking about it down here.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy. Like, who are you getting if that's the case? But
Pittsburgh and Baltimore don't understand what they have.
They have
how
no
rare it is.
They don't get and which they have institutional belief in their franchise where like John Harbaugh was the Eagles special teams coordinator when he got hired. Mike Tomlin, I think, was the Redskins DC for a year, and now he was only a coordinator for 1 year before he got Steelers job because he was Tony Dungy's DB's coach on and then I think Gruden's DB's coach on the the Tampa team that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and they're like, we made these guys into borderline Hall of Fame coaches. Mike Tomlin probably is going to be a Hall of Famer. Harbaugh isn't far behind if he gets in, or he's probably right on the cusp of it. Like we can pluck people in those roles. Like why can't we find the next one? And when you're the Steelers and you've had 3 coaches since the moon landing, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me feel any better as a fan when I hear you complain about Mike Tomlin, who I literally think I would donate a kidney to have coach the Jets at this point.
I'd trade a whole draft for Mike Tomlin.
I trade 2 drafts for Mike Tomlin.
I would trade for Harbaugh too.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Just
Those guys actually have a culture. Those guys actually have like you can't be you can't be in the minnows where the Jets are and just have a Super Bowl or bust mentality. Like you need to get to make the playoffs in consecutive years, win a division title, and then just appreciate that, and then you can slowly build up your expectations. You can't just say like, oh, well, 31 teams aren't happy, so if we're not that only team that is, like that's the only thing I want. Like that's just not sustainable.
no.
I will clarify, in the middle of an attempt at a plan, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. Like, I'm not sure how I'd feel about pulling the ripcord on Aaron Glenn now and doing that.
Yeah.
And that's not really anything to do with me thinking Aaron Glenn is the right answer or the wrong answer. It's just like, hey, like you made a plan, like have some conviction in it and try to see it through.
Yeah.
If they get to another teardown and that's an available option, do it.
Yeah. This is not 2012 when Andy Reid got fired and you kept Rex because you went 8-8 and you fired Tannenbaum and Andy Reid was sitting there when they would even have had to move to be your coach. Like it's a little different. It's not that scenario of Tomlin or Harbaugh shaking.
You guys should do a series like in the off season on like an alternate timeline of what would have happened, and like just pick different scenarios. That would be pretty funny to examine.
Yeah. The almost Jets would probably be the Chiefs at this point if we had our way.
Unbelievable. Now I missed a lot of college football other than Penn State yesterday. So did anything pop with the quarterbacks?
Simpson did not play well against East Illinois, which was kind of surprising. Yeah, he had 2 picks and no touchdowns
Against Eastern Illinois?
Yep. He was 11 of 16 for 142 and 2 picks. They just ran the ball. They didn't let the quarterbacks do anything. They just I think they had 2 running backs who had 2 touchdowns each, another one, their third string running back. It was, I think, it's senior day for them this year because they play the Iron Bowl at Jordan Hare at Auburn. So this was their last game. So I don't know if it's a game plan thing. I don't know if he was trying stuff. I have no idea. But his accuracy has dwindled the past month. And Auburn's not a good football team, but they do have a good defense. So that's going to be a big test. And then he's going to likely have A&M or Georgia in the championship game if they beat Auburn, considering how A&M Texas goes. Because if they win, they're playing A&M. If they lose, they have to play Georgia again.
And Indiana was off, right?
Yes. And then they're off next week because they have to play Purdue. So I can say that matchup's a pretty good one.
And the Oregon quarterback looked good against USC.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Dante Moore looked very well. People there, like all the scouts think he's going back, and I think Phil Knight wrote the check. But can you really turn down being the top pick in the draft?
Well, you look at Aller. I mean,
the Browns would have taken him last year. Like
he would have went, and
that would have been Cam Ward, Drew Aller, and he's from Ohio. Like they will 100% would have taken him.
And nuts.
Now he's.
You have to rethink it, seeing that ball. If you're a quarterback right now thinking about coming out, right? The only difference, I guess, now versus maybe 5 years ago is you are getting Phil Knight money to stay, right?
Yeah, it's like you're basically saying hey, if Phil Knight gives me $6 million to stay, or I get this whatever the signing bonus is, like it was like for the first pick or the top 5 pick is probably like between 25 and 30 million.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like even the Phil Knight money is peanuts compared to NFL money. So if it's really just about the money, like go get the bigger check.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like and Paul knows this. If I had my pick, I would still take him. He doesn't turn 21 until after the draft. Like to me, this is Sam, but I actually think I'm talking about from just like a raw tools, super young ball of clay, 20-year-old, isn't even 21 by the draft. Just sit him.
You have to sit him.
Just sit him. Just sit him.
Comes out, you can't play him next year.
You just sit him. I remember I was actually arguing with my mom about this because she's a Packers fan, and I think she was saying making a comment about how the Packers were doing this year. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hear you complain. You've had this lineage of quarterbacks, and she's like, yeah, because the franchise isn't dumb enough to play them right away. They sit them. That's why they're so good at getting them. And I was like, I didn't have a comeback. I was like, fair enough.
She's right.
Yeah, You can't put a guy who just gained the legal age to drink, put the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's going to crumble.
In this city, with the pressure of a 15-year playoff, it's too much, dude. It's way too much.
Yeah.
And that makes you think, were you patient enough to let them draft a quarterback high and then fit them? I mean, history said no, right?
Me and Paul literally have an argument that we don't think Woody's patient enough to let them skip a quarterback if they don't land in this scenario to take one. And like we would love to just like watch two teams trade for a quarterback and take Arvell Reese at 4. Is Woody going to sign off when he has to sell tickets to have Jacoby Brissett insert day 3 quarterback here? Like, let's say they take Nuss at like pick 55, and then you have like another, and you have Brissett, Nussmeier, and Brady Cook as your quarterback room.
What about Joey Smokes? Joey Smokes is 25 years old. He's ready. He's ready to play immediately. We don't have to wait.
Dude, he can.
I'm saying Dante Moore and Joey Smokes.
Oh, great. Then I get to hear you say Dante Moore is RG3 and Joey Smokes is Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I'm really signing up for that.
So
Ballard lately, so I could buy a jersey.
Joe, let me ask you this. So this is the argument Meegs is referring to is Woody patient enough to let that happen? And the question I asked him was, I'll just read the text aloud. Woody sucks, but it's getting tiring to just blame him for everything every time. I'd rather look for a couple things. Number 1, how embarrassed was he last year by that article in The Athletic? Number 2, how focused is he on his soccer team, Crystal Palace? And number 3, how long is he committed, at least in his own mind, to like, I'm going to let Aaron Glenn do what he needs to do. And I'm not going to get involved for a period of X, right? What is that period? Like, will he stay out of it at least for a year because of the embarrassment he felt and because of the soccer team that he owns? Or does he just go right back to being Woody as soon as there's a new quarterback in the building and say, I need to see my new toy play?
Yeah, I think number 2 there is really the factor that I think people don't think about enough. I actually know for a fact he's obsessed with this soccer team, just from some business contacts that actually are in England. Mm-hmm. And so I think it might distract him a little bit, but New York's so loud with the media that eventually he comes back. I have no faith in Woody. I think he's a train wreck, and I think he's going to at some point hit the panic button and change things.
It's not like Dolan with like the Rangers have just been able to just skate by as he pays attention to the Knicks, and like he just doesn't like Woody doesn't live in London. He lives here.
Right.
Like, in that regard. And like I know Woody cares about a soccer team. Woody wanted to buy Chelsea when they were sold. They're a bigger club than Crystal Palace. They're one of the 4 biggest clubs in England. Like, he wanted to buy them, and he got outbid by the Dodgers owner, Todd Bailey, he's one of the part owners of the Dodgers, and he almost bought the Commanders. That guy's an absolute psychopath.
At the end of the day, it's an unanswerable question, though. Like, we don't know how embarrassed he was.
No.
And how long-term of an effect that will have.
But the quote about that came out about how they wanted to file a grievance against the NFLPA about having those report cards exist and it tying back to Woody was a great start in that regard. I'll just say.
Yeah. I'll be optimistic and hope that he does the right thing, but I do think Glenn being the coach maybe buys him a little extra time than maybe if it was Saul or something like that.
He might be like a Woody whisperer of sorts.
Right.
Yeah.
He let him trade Sauce, right? I mean, that was I don't think I would have bet on that happening no matter what the odds were at the beginning of the year after they signed.
No. Do you think Woody still has his chain?
I don't know. I'm sure he still has it. I don't know if he's wearing it anymore.
My only request of Woody this offseason is don't leak the draft board this year.
Yeah.
That's my only request.
Meegs, we haven't talked about Carson Beck in a long time.
Yeah, I think that elbow is just cooked, unfortunately.
Okay.
There are some throws where it looks like a t-shirt. And he had major reconstructive surgery on his elbow. Like, it's hard. And there are a couple of moments when Miami lost where after the game, there were some comments not taking accountability, blaming other players that when you're the quarterback and you throw 4 picks, I don't care if one was tipped. I don't care if they ran the wrong route. You can ream them out in the locker room. There's an accountability factor that you want your quarterback to just eat it. And he didn't. And still a kid. Like, I'm not saying you need to have the perfect answer and the right answer every time. Everyone makes mistakes in the media. I just think for that one, it would have just been, it's not that it's a full-blown miss, but it's just would have been a nice check to have. Now the question exists. Because Georgia ran him out, not really for the play on the field. It was for how things were in the locker room.
Yep, 100%.
And look at Georgia right now.
Joe, last question I have for you before you go. How is life now that your daughter's driving? Congratulations.
Oh God.
I will say, when you posted that on Twitter last week, that I really appreciate the connections that we are able to make in this community. And I was I was touched by that. So I appreciated you posting it. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, no, well, it's funny too because she knew it. Like she comes and watches this. Like she won't. I tried to get her to come on one day, but she won't. But she'll go and watch it. And she's like, oh, because she knows about sports. And my wife, who is upstairs, I was trying to get her to come down because last week she was 5 for 5 on her picks.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
all just straight up games against the spread. And she's like, yeah, we should bet on all of these. And I'm like, no, I don't know. And a couple of them were crazy, and she hit them all. So she's walking around pretty cocky today, but. But my daughter, so she got her license 3 days later, sideswiped, and she got hit. And yeah, and it was on Thursday, so I was in Vegas. She calls hysterically crying. I was in Vegas for like 3 hours, and I'm like, God damn it! I knew I shouldn't have come out here. But most important thing, she's safe, right? Car has a couple grand damage, and I told her, even though it wasn't your fault, and maybe it'll make you more of an aware driver, because she's not always the best with the mirrors. So
yeah,
it's a good life lesson.
Yeah, it's a good life lesson. She got hit at like 15 miles an hour, but she felt like it was like being hit by a truck. So
the first time your car hits something, even if you're like back into a parked car, it is like there's like a jolt in a way that it's just very like startling. So it doesn't have to be a full blown 30-mile-an-hour collision.
No, it doesn't. And it's funny too, because the night before I left, we were just talking, and I told her, one day you are going to get into an accident. It's not a matter of if you're going to, it's just a matter of when. So then after I was gone, I ended up calling her, and I'm like, hey, I didn't think it was going to be 3 days, right? Then I made her kind of laugh. And I said, hey, for what it's worth, I still think you're a great driver, but you're going to have to practice a little bit more. But I do have a question for you guys.
Yes.
If we win today,
yes,
is it a signature win, or is it we beat a Ravens team who's not really a Ravens team?
No, this is one you can't, like, for all the tank commanders out there. Like, if you want to say, if they beat the Falcons next week and Kirk Cousins' corpse dies in MetLife, and you want to say this win's meaningless, fine. Beating a team that's coached by John Harbaugh, beating Lamar Jackson, like, I don't care if they're not the 23 Ravens. This is still a good team. They are a minus 200 to win their division, and you beat them on their home turf. Like, unless Lamar gets hurt in the first quarter and you beat Snoop Huntley, like, maybe that changes the math. If you beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens today, there's no caveat. It's just a really, really impressive win, and doing it the first game of your new quarterback change, I think will show that Glenn made the right decision.
If for no other reason than it's the first win on the road in Baltimore against the Ravens ever, and the first Jets win in Baltimore since 1983. Yeah.
I agree. And I only asked because when I was running in the house, my neighbor, who's the Ravens fan, is like, hey, you guys are going to beat us today. And I'm like, no, we're not. And he's like, no, we're no good. You're going to beat us, I guarantee it. And so he was already sort of planting seeds that, it's not a big deal if we beat them. So just wanted to throw it by you guys. But anyway, right. I'll hop off. You guys keep doing a great job, and I'll try to miss PSU Joe and the kid on soon.
Yeah. Honestly, if she's going to keep going 5-5 for picks, we're going to need to give her her own segment.
Yeah, give her a segment for sure.
See what she does today. So she said when she picked 6 games, and she said, I'm not sure, and I'll have 5 for you when I come upstairs. So
sounds good.
All right,
thanks,
guys.
Joe. Good seeing you.
Later, Joe. Good seeing you.
I want to hit one thing that we've. Oh, sorry, we did it at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
What was yours?
I was about John Mateer. Yeah, that's not an NFL quarterback right now. He should go back to college. We don't have to worry about him.
Okay.
Dude can't see the field.
This is a popular thing to say. We've talked a lot about it in the draft guide group chat. I think the general consensus, at least among the people in that group chat, is that we are forgetting how good Jared Goff was at Cal. Right. So I want to give you the floor. We have 1 minute.
Jared Goff at Cal. Jared Goff was well worth being the number 1 overall pick in the draft. The Rams traded multiple first-round picks to draft him. He literally was a fringe MVP candidate with the Rams. Like, there was a proven concept with Jared Goff where when his offensive line was good, Jared Goff was good. And when the Rams' offensive line deteriorated, Goff didn't have the answers, and the Rams didn't want to keep paying him that money that they were paying him on a second contract. So they wanted a quarterback who could alleviate that more, which Matthew Stafford can. He went to Detroit. The Lions took Penei Sewell, made their offensive line excellent, and he's become this player. But Jared Goff has always been good. Jared Goff has gotten better. Like, Jared Goff was good in Los Angeles, and he's become a better player in Detroit, which is surprising. Jared Goff becoming serviceable again should not have shocked anyone who was paying attention.
That's a good final word. We're going to kick it over to Connor and the boys on SNY. Bring it over there. Jets game in an hour. We'll see what we got. We're not making picks anymore. We're done with making picks.
Yeah, Paul's done making predictions. If I'll say this, if they lose like 40 to today, maybe we'll bring them back. Who's to say?
Yeah. All right, guys.
Good.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.